name's Mick Price and I'm a consultant for DNA Baits, and you join me today on part 3 of my winter day ticket series where I'm travelling around some open access waters. And we're here in North Yorkshire, just a few days after we were at the Pilbridge farm. Just round the corner at the Raker Lakes, you know, my favourite winter venue of all time. I really like this water. It's got a cracking head of fish in it, a real good head of 20-pound carp as well, with a high percentage of them being upper 20s, which in the winter you just can't fault that. I got down for first light this morning and the lake is absolutely rammed. I'm talking there's only sort of 1 or 2 pegs left, which it isn't ideal, but I've dropped in a good swim. I'm feeling really confident. I've had my rods out for about 2 hours. At the moment I haven't received any liners, and there was only 1 or 2 fish caught last night, and those were come from the other side of the lake, but unfortunately that area of the lake's going to be stitched up for another couple of nights. So I've got 24 hours ahead of me. I can stay through the day tomorrow if I want to, but we'll see how the session pans out. But I'm feeling good, and we're going to have a look at a few little different tips and bits and bobs what I put into my fishing on this venue. I've fished it quite a lot for the sort of last 3-4 seasons and had some cracking results using some of the different DNA products with the wafters and the pop-ups, and we'll have a look at all that stuff. So yeah, we'll see how this morning pans out, and I'm feeling really good for a bite. I'm in there. We're about 2.5 hours into the session, and the middle rod is just ripped off there on my little trimmed down pink wafter. Feels like a decent fish, this one, and all. She's just plodding about. You know, I've had real success over the last sort of 3 winters fishing with these pink wafters on this particular lake. All the other winter venues I've been travelling around to. Got so much confidence in these baits. Really good. Quite strange for this particular swim as well. I mean, I haven't even had any liners or nothing this morning. And, you know, I was feeling a little bit, I don't know, a little just too much fin there. You know, I wasn't feeling really confident, but you know, it just goes to show. You don't always have to have liners for the fish to be out in the swim. You know, I think knowing the venue and knowing the swim well and all paid this morning, because I just got down, just like you say, just on dark, and there's no need to mark a float or anything like that. Just flick the rod out onto the spots, and it hasn't took too long to finally go off. Certainly make a decent account of itself at the moment. Just clipped on me the rod there. Down the wave up now. See, this lake's got some cracking fish in it. There's quite a few 30s in here, you know. Like I said earlier, there's a really good head of up to 20 pounds, which, you know, especially for this part of the country, is just fantastic. I just love coming down here in the winter. It's a cracking lake. There's also a good mix of fish as well. There's mirrors and commons. You know, we've been spoilt now for about 3-4 weeks with these temperatures, so it's only a matter of time before we start getting those minuses back and stuff. Certainly looks like a 20. Come on, baby. Yes! Get in there. First blood on the pink wafters. Cracking start of the session. And I think there's going to be a few more fish to come. Just a little bit of pink wafter in the net there, just come away while I was playing the fishing. You know, these pink wafters have just been the downfall of so many fish in this venue, and other venues in fact. Absolutely fantastic. And if I had one hook bait to use in the winter all the time, definitely those little pink wafters or the white wafters. Awesome. Take a cracking fish. Let's have a look then. See what she's going. Pick it up first and I'll turn it round. £25. There's a little touch over. What a start. A bit lively. Well, look at that. Absolute dream start here at Raker. I'm over the moon with this one. £25. You know, this is why I absolutely love the place. And just come down, fish for these fish. There's not many lakes in the country where, you know, you can turn up in the winter and catch 20 pluses like this, especially in the north. Fantastic, and I'm sure it's going to be one of many in this session. I'm feeling really, really confident now bagging the fish that quick. You know, I've got the whole day, the night and the day tomorrow ahead of me. So let's put these pink wafters and the little whiteys through the paces over the next 24 hours and see if we can bang a few more of these out. What a start, absolutely fantastic. Right then, let's get this cracking 25 back. As you can see there, she's a real old warrior, got quite a lot of battle scars on the sides there. Absolutely awesome. Right, let's slip her back. So I'm sure there's going to be one or two more fish to come. Getting a fish so early, it's always a really good sign on this lake. Look at the width on that back. Cracking. Off she goes. Get in there, great start. Yes, that fish there just moved my right hand rod. I picked it up as I was playing it in. So I've fetched that rod in. I want to flick it back out onto the mark. Same spot as what I've been picking the fish up over the last few winters. There's a little deep channel just out there in the open water. It's on it. Perfect. And all I'm doing is just feeling down for that longer drop. Everywhere else is sort of dropping down in a couple of seconds. That one's taking sort of 4 seconds, a little bit deeper. Just going to slide the back lead down. You know, one thing that's definitely learnt on this water is your lines must be out the way at all times. Keep them pinned down at the bottom. Like you say, today the lake's absolutely rammed. I don't know how many he's on actually, but it's certainly into double figures. So keeping the lines out the way. Hopefully there's going to be a few fish moving into the swim. You know, you see loads of people just fishing mega tight lines and it just spooks the fish out straight out your swim. So I'm fishing back-leaded and really, really slack. Right then, let's get this pink wafter back on. We'll have a look at rigs and stuff later on in the day, but at the minute I just want to get these rods back out on the mark. I think there's a few fish in the swim at the minute, so let's get that on. Right. So what I've been doing a little bit differently is that what I was doing at Q Lake last week is I've been putting the wafter on, but I've been whittling it right down. Oh, my rod's away, my rod's away. Well, can you believe that? The rod's literally been out there for, what, 2 minutes back into that deep channel and it's ripped straight off. Absolutely unbelievable. Little pink wafter again. There's obviously a few fish about. You know, like I said, the action here on Raker, this is what it can be like. If you get a few fish in your swim, you can really, really go to work on. Like I say, I've had 20 odd fish in a day in the winter before out with this peg. I've also blanked in the peg, so it just depends whether they're there or not. But luckily at the minute, there's obviously a few fish about. You know, it just goes to show as well how good those little wafters are, and you see so many people just filling it in with bait. And I've just come down and just fishing those single hook baits or little tiny bags. As you can see around me, you know, the lake's really, really busy, and you just don't know how much bait's gone in there the night before. So I always tend to start off with just little small baits or little tiny bags. Definitely the kiss of death on this place if you put too much bait in. You know, if you've got a long session ahead of you, sort of 3-4 nights, then yeah, it will work. But when you're only doing the one night, you've got to be really, really careful with your bait application. Doesn't feel as big as the last one, but doesn't matter. Great spot. Just need it ready for the net now. Little common this time, nowhere near as big as the last fish, but don't matter. Certainly wanted that wafter. Mad. You know, like you say, the rod only been out there, it's what, 2-3 minutes, ripped off straight away. There she goes. Right, let's get this fish straight onto the mat. Not the best hook hold I've had, you know, it's just nicked in the side of the mouth there, but you know, majority of them are quite good with the wafters, but she's still being landed, still in there quite strong, so it's a good sign. Power of the pinks. Let's get the hook out. Okay, I'm not going to weigh this one, looks like a nice mid-double common. Let's just get it back as quick as we can. A 25-pound mirror, and then a lovely mid-double common to back it up. Cracking. Let's put her back. Although it's mad, that water feels absolutely free. Off she goes. Great start. Let's get them rods back out on the mark. I'm sure there's going to be a few fish out today. Looks absolutely prime now. I'm really, really confident. 2 fish within the first few hours. Great start, and we've got the full day ahead of us yet. Let's get them pink wafters back out on the mark. Right then, let's get this net set back up. You know, I'm really, really eager to get the rods out, but you've just seen there, if I didn't have my net set up and my rods just ripped off there, there's a good chance that I probably lost that fish. So make sure you keep yourself organised. Like you say, the action can be really, really fast and furious on here. Right, let's get the rods out. Right then, so where I was last time before that rod ripped off, I was just trimming down this pink wafter ready to put it back out on the mark. So it just needs a little bit more trimming down. You know, this is just a confidence thing, and I am only fishing single hook baits. So by trimming that wafter down, I just feel it adds a lot more smell into the water, a lot more flavour for those fish to home in on. And you know, when they do come in there, there's no little free offerings for them to pick up. You know, they've got to investigate that, and the only way they can do that is by, well, sucking it through the mouth. You know, they don't have hands, suck that up, it's game over. It does make a difference, you know, I'm going for that channel. You know, literally, if your rod isn't in there, you're just not going to get a bite. So I'm going to flick it out back onto that mark. You know, if it takes me 2 or 3 goes for it to land in that channel, then that's how many goes it takes. You know, you've just seen there, the rod was only out for a couple of minutes and it went straight off. So that's the spot I'm aiming for again, just to the right of my marker there, which is the tall tree. And that's absolutely perfect, right in the spot. Let's go. A line of that. Just had a little liner there on the left hand rod. A few bleeps up. Definitely going to happen again this afternoon, I think. Looks really good. How's stay? You alright, mate? Yeah, I've had a couple, mate. Yeah, I've had a good start. Nice good. 25 and a nice upper double common, so it's looking good. It's looking good. Really? Yeah, so this is Steve. This is the lake owner of Raker Lakes. So why are you down, Steve, mate? Do you think alright if you ask you a few questions about the lake and that? Yeah. when did it all start, mate? I mean, I know you dug the lake yourself, but when did it all kick off? And
we took over the complex in '99.
Yeah.
Dug the lake out '99. Opened 2000. Stocked it. 220 Simos fish.
Right.
Of which they've bred in here as well.
Yeah.
So we really, at the minute, we have no real idea of how many fish there are.
Yeah. I know you've got a good head of like 20s in here. I was talking about it earlier. Just you know, for especially this part of the country, getting that many 20s in a winter venue as well, like we're doing now.
Right.
How many 20s do you think you've got roughly? You think
between
you've got
50 and 60?
Yeah.
Right time of year.
A couple of 30s kicking about now as well.
We did four last year, so 4 different 30s. So.
Yeah. It's really good. I mean, I noticed, you know, we were talking about it with John earlier about a few water problems and whatever around the area, and I noticed you've fenced it all off and everything, so it's nice and secure.
Yeah, we did that. I think it was 2001 or 2002, and we just replaced it last year at an expense, but you can only do what you can do.
Yeah. Have you got any future plans for the place of stocking? I know you've got the ponds at the back and stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, we try to grow a few on every year and put back the prettier fish. And take 1 or 2 plain fish out, which go into the other coarse lakes. But it's trying to get that balance of enough fish so that it fishes, but not too many fish so that you're not stunting them. It's not an exact science. But
there's quite a few fish coming through, isn't it? Like you say,
lots
30s
lots of these upper doubles are all fish that have grown on. So.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can see today it's quite busy, so you're obviously doing something right for venues.
Well, that's it.
People are down on that, and
the idea was to get a decent runs water, a decent 20-pound runs water.
Yeah,
so.
it's looking really good. Yeah, so we'll cheese for the talk then, mate, and do you think it looks good for another bite? Or?
It should do, it's mild enough.
Yeah.
Bit of breeze, so yeah.
Good. Cheers,
mate.
See you later, Steve. Ta-ra. Yes, absolute flyer there on the right-hander. Heading out towards that bay. So it's been quiet there for sort of a couple of hours there after I re-chucked. Feels quite small. Rain's starting to come down now. It is still really mild. We've got a bit of rain forecast for tonight, so the conditions are really good. You know, beats last time we were down here filming. The lake was frozen on the first day. We had to come back 3 days later, and we still froze over on that occasion as well, but we managed a couple of fish. It's just really small, actually. It's like a nice linear. Scaly one. Here comes the pink wafter. It's in there. Another one in the net. Cracking day so far. Really enjoying it. Nice looking fish. Well, there we go. Fish number 3. Just absolute one toner there on the right hand rod on the pink wafter. Fished into that little gully where the other couple of fish have come from. Absolutely made up with that one. Totally stunning little fish. Probably about 13-14 pound. Cracker. Let's slip her back quick as possible because I'm really confident a few more bites before dark. One toner, just ripped straight off. Again, them pink wafters. That weather's had a bit of a change this afternoon. You know, we've had a bit of rain then. As soon as that rain stopped, rods just ripped straight off. There's a little ghosty. That's it. Pink wafter hanging out again. And she's there. Well, fish number 4. What a cracking day. I couldn't ask for anything better. Over the moon. Oh, look at that. Cracking fish, fish number 4, taking again on them pink wafters. And what a great day it's been so far. Absolute red letter day. You know, I feel like things shouldn't go any better at the moment. I'm not really bothered now if I don't get another bite, to be honest. Absolutely made up with it. Let's get that rod back out and see if we can get a couple more fish out. Got about half an hour left now before it gets dark. But it's looking really good. Let's slip her back. Ghosty mirror, ready to go back. Here she goes. Get in there. What a day this has been so far. Absolutely made up with it. Can't wait to see what the night brings. You know, it just goes to show, you know, how critical it is to get in that channel. You know, those fish just love it in that deeper area. They don't get spooked off by the casting. If it takes me 4 or 5 goes, I'm not bothered. In that area, and you can see the action can be quite prolific. So let's get it back out there, because I'm feeling good for another bite. Well, good morning. It's a morning after a prolific day's fishing yesterday. You know, non-stop action all day. We had gear all over. Really good day's fishing, and it's looking cracking for a bite today as well. You see, this particular lake, you never seem to catch anything in the night. You know, I've had like really big hits through the day, and then in the night, nothing. Not even a line, and nothing, not even a beat, nothing, which is really strange. So last night, put the rods out on dark. I wasn't even going to fish, to be honest. I was going to rest my swim. Got a cup of tea, cut my head down. What, midnight, rod absolutely roared off, which is unreal for this place, really. Well, in my experience anyway. Had a cracking mid double common again on the little pink wafter, which I was made up with. And then just before light this morning, it was absolutely tanking down with rain, so we couldn't film it. But I've got it in the sack to show you in a little bit of lovely double figure mirror. About 7 o'clock this morning that was. So at the minute we're up to 6 fish, absolutely fantastic start of this session, and I've got the full day ahead of me. And like I say, it's the daytime when these bites come, so I'm feeling really good for what's going to happen today. Well, there he is. Not the biggest fish in the lake, a lovely little scraper double mirror, pretty one, and there's some cracking fish like this in the lake coming through the ranks. Here's some great 20 pounders in this lake, which you've seen on the first fish, but you know, these are essential to maintain the fishery. So let's slip her back and see if we can get a bigger one. So there's a little pink wafter there ready to go out. I've just trimmed it down, as you've seen earlier on the clips. That's just so the bait just sinks nice and slowly. I've tested it in the edge. And what I do, how I put them on the hair is always lengthways, because when you do hook them on sideways, they tend to just fall through the water incorrectly, and you know you can end up getting a poor line lay with your rig. So that's definitely a good tip. Make sure you hook it on that way, or rig it on that way, and you'll definitely get more bites. So the little rig that I'm using today, you know, it's nothing fancy, it's just a coated hook link. I've got a nice flat hard bottom out there, and that little gully what I'm casting into, you know, it's really clear hard bottom. So all I do is I use a sort of 15-pound coated hook link with a couple little bits of putty on there, and a little light lead. You know, I want to make as least disturbance as possible onto a lead core leader. So there's nothing fancy about it, there's no snags or nothing. So, you know, I've got a size 10 hook on, just scaling it all down. You see so many people using big heavy leads and massive hooks and stuff. It's just no need for it in here, and I think that definitely gets me more bites. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this right hand rod out now. I'm going in line with that second tallest tree on the island, just towards the corner of the island. Again, I'm going to put it back into that gully after I received that liner where I was fishing over the top of it. So 1 or 2 fish are definitely still going up and down that shelf. Like I say, I've changed over to the white, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fan the rods over to the right a little bit more. Sometimes these fish tend to drift left and right if they're in a bit of a shoal. So just moving them over a few foot sometimes puts the odd fish on the bank. So it's nice in there. Well, the day's gone in the blink of an eye. We've got probably about an hour before it gets dark and the lake's absolutely dead. I can't believe it. After yesterday and the liners we were getting and, you know, having 6 fish on the bank, it's just madness. It just really is. Well, I suppose it's just day ticket fishing. It's just the weather, everything is just, you know, all in my favour. I just can't believe it hasn't happened today. But quite often I've had a fish in the last sort of hour and a half, so I'm still feeling confident. Done everything I possibly can. You know, I've had a little change with those over towards the white wafters. And we'll see if that can nick us a fish. But it still looks good. So I'm confident still. Just going to stick with my guns now. And we'll see what happens. Well, sadly that's the end of the session. It's been a really hard day today, completely different to yesterday. Nothing's happened whatsoever, but we've still managed 6 fish in the session, which is fantastic, including that cracking 25-pound mirror. So I couldn't ask for anything more really, so I'm made up with that. Last time he was firing a few questions at us with, you know, regards to the different bits and bobs that I put in my fish in, asking different tips, and it was really good. We enjoyed that. So what we've done this time, the DNA boys have put it to you where you can actually pick the venue where I'm going to be next time. So, you know, I haven't got a clue where I'm going to end up. They're just going to literally pick one of the venues that you've shot at us out the hat, and that's where we'll be. So until then, we'll see you in part 4.